The first thing that hits you in Kuala Lumpur isn't the skyline. It's the smell. Charcoal smoke drifting through the streets. Garlic hitting a hot wok. Sweet coconut jam melting into toasted bread somewhere behind you. And if you follow those smells long enough, you'll realize something. This city might secretly be one of the most dangerous places on earth. Not because of crime, because of food. We had exactly 4 days in Kuala Lumpur. That's it. 96 hours to understand what Malaysians proudly call one of the best food cultures in Asia. But here's the problem. When you search online, you get thousands of restaurants, fancy cafes, tourist traps, Instagram food that looks better than it tastes. So we did something smarter. We asked locals, not bloggers, not travel websites, real Malaysian friends. And one of them, a guy named Adrian, gave us a challenge. For days, he said, I'll take you to the places we actually eat. Not tourist food, not hotel food, the real stuff. 11 spots across the city, from breakfast cafes to night street grills. And he promised something bold. If you don't love at least 8 of them, dinner is on me. Now that's confidence. So we started early the next morning at a small cafe that didn't look special at all. Just a simple shop filled with locals quietly eating breakfast like they had done this 1,000 times before. Adrian ordered the classic, kaya toast. If an alien landed on Earth and saw this plate, it might say, humans traveled millions of years through evolution just to invent sugary bread. 2 slices of crispy toast, butter slowly melting, and kaya, a thick coconut jam that smells like dessert disguised as breakfast. 1 bite, crunchy bread, sweet coconut, creamy butter, simple, comforting, dangerous. But Adrian shook his head. That's just the warm-up. Then the real dish arrived. A giant Hainanese chicken chop, drowned in bright tomato gravy. Golden crispy chicken, tangy sweet sauce. A strange mix of Asian comfort food and old British cafe style. Cooking that somehow works perfectly. The table went quiet. That kind of silence where everyone is chewing too happily to talk. 1 stop in, and Kuala Lumpur was already winning. But Adrian smiled like a magician who hadn't shown his best trick yet. Now, he said, we go somewhere spicy, which is how we ended up standing in line outside a noodle shop locals swear by. The specialty? Dried chili pan mee. At first the bowl looked harmless. Springy noodles, minced pork, crunchy anchovies, a soft egg waiting to burst. Then Adrian slid a jar of chili flakes across the table. Add as much as you want. That sentence should come with a warning label. Because Malaysian chili doesn't ask politely. It invades. We mix the egg into the noodles. Red chili oil spread to the bowl like lava. First bite, savory noodles, crispy anchovies, rich egg yolk, and heat slowly climbing up your throat like it had plans to stay forever. Halfway through the bowl, someone started sweating. Someone else grabbed iced tea like it was emergency medicine. Adrian just laughed. Now you're eating like a local. 2 restaurants down. And suddenly we realized something. This food trip wasn't going to be calm. It was going to be a full-blown flavor marathon. Next stop, something completely different. A quiet bakery known for one tiny dessert that Malaysians take very seriously. Egg tarts. They look harmless, just pastry and custard. But the moment we picked one up, the crust shattered into delicate flakes. Inside was silky egg custard with a golden caramel top. 1 bite and the table froze again. Flaky, buttery, rich custard that melts instantly. It's the kind of dessert that makes you question every bad pastry you've ever eaten. If aliens tried this, they would probably steal the recipe and open bakeries across the galaxy. 3 stops, 3 wins. But Adrian looked amused. Wait until dinner, because Kuala Lumpur at night is a completely different food universe. Streetlights glowing, seafood sizzling in giant woks. And that's where the next dish appeared. A massive bowl of curry seafood noodles. Shrimp, clams, squid. Thick noodles swimming in a bright orange curry broth. The smell alone could hypnotize you. First bite, and something surprising happened. The seafood wasn't a star. The curry was. Rich coconut flavor, warm spices, deep savory heat that wrapped around everything in the bowl. The seafood almost became a supporting actor. But honestly, no one complained. For restaurants in, and our confidence in Adrian's food map was growing fast. But then he said something strange. We still haven't eaten Malaysia's most important dish. Wait, after all that, there's something bigger? That's when we drove to a crowded morning restaurant the next day. Because if you want to understand Malaysian food culture, you have to start with nasi lemak. And Adrian claimed this place served one of the best beginner versions in the city. The plate looked simple but beautiful. Coconut rice, crispy fried chicken, peanuts, anchovies, boiled egg, and a deep red sambal sauce. Now sambal can be terrifying, but Adrian promised this one was friendly, which sounds like something a spicy sauce would say before attacking you. But surprisingly, he was right. The sambal was sweet with gentle heat. The rice smelled like coconut heaven, and the fried chicken was so crispy it sounded like someone snapping twigs. At that moment, something became clear. Kuala Lumpur wasn't just feeding us. It was slowly converting us. But we were only halfway through the list. And what came next would test our stomachs in a completely different way. Because the next stop wasn't spicy. It wasn't savory. It was ice cold. And after hours in Kuala Lumpur's tropical heat, it might have been the most important stop of the entire journey. But what dessert could possibly earn a place among Malaysia's most beloved foods? Before we continue, quick favor. If you enjoy discovering real food around the world like this, hit that subscribe button right now, because the next stops might completely change how you see Malaysian street food. And trust me, the final dish on this list is absolutely wild. But first, let's see what happens when Kuala Lumpur decides to fight the heat with dessert. So what exactly was waiting for us at stop number 6? If you spend even one afternoon walking through Kuala Lumpur, you'll realize something quickly. The heat here doesn't play around. Within 10 minutes, you're sweating like you just ran a marathon, which explains why Malaysians have perfected one important survival tool: cold desserts. Adrian brought us to a dessert shop locals love after a long day of eating. The star of the menu? Shaved ice dessert stacked with toppings. Imagine a mountain of finely shaved ice. Then add sweet syrup, condensed milk, beans, fruit jelly, and sometimes even corn. If aliens saw this bowl, they'd probably ask one serious question. Why are humans putting vegetables inside dessert? But the first spoonful made everything make sense. Cold, sweet, refreshing. Exactly what your body wants in tropical heat. But our food adventure wasn't slowing down, because Kuala Lumpur's noodle culture still had more to show. The next stop specialized in wonton noodles. Simple bowl, thin springy noodles, slices of roasted pork, delicate dumplings, and if you're feeling brave, chicken feet. Yes, chicken feet. Adrian said locals love it. And honestly, when you're already eating anchovies and chili volcano noodles, chicken feet doesn't seem that crazy anymore. The noodles were light, savory, perfectly seasoned. Comfort food in its purest form. But then Adrian said something that made the table lean forward. Now we go to the satay battle. Because apparently Kuala Lumpur has two legendary satay spots, and locals argue about which one is better. First stop, charcoal grills smoking non-stop, skewers of meat sizzling over fire, the smell of peanut sauce floating through the air like perfume. Each stick came slightly charred. Juicy grilled meat dipped into thick peanut sauce with sweet and savory flavors. Unbelievably addictive. But Adrian insisted there was another contender. Another satay legend just across town. Also charcoal grilled. Also famous. Also surrounded by thousands of glowing online reviews. We tried both, and something surprising happened. They were both incredible. But the second one had a peanut sauce that tasted slightly richer, slightly deeper, like it had a secret ingredient. The debate at the table started immediately. Which one actually wins? Even Adrian couldn't decide. But the food journey wasn't finished yet, because the next dish was something locals consider pure comfort. Clay pot chicken rice. When the lid lifted, steam exploded from the pot. Inside was rice cooked directly over charcoal with chicken, Chinese sausage, soy sauce, and green onions. At the bottom of the pot, crispy rice crust. That golden crunchy layer every Malaysian fights for. Smoky, savory, slightly sweet. Absolute perfection. By now we had eaten noodles, seafood, rice, desserts, grilled meat. But there was still one final stop. And Adrian insisted we couldn't leave Kuala Lumpur without it. A famous shaved ice dessert known for towering mountains of colorful toppings. When it arrived, it looked ridiculous. Ice, syrup, beans, fruit, sweet jelly, condensed milk pouring down the sides. If aliens ever study human culture, this dessert might confuse them forever. But the first spoonful? Cold, sweet, refreshing. The perfect ending after a 4-day food marathon. We leaned back at the table realizing something. 11 restaurants. For days. And somehow, not a single one disappointed us. Adrian smiled like a man who knew this would happen. Because Kuala Lumpur doesn't just serve food. It serves stories, flavor battles, family traditions, and dishes perfected over generations. But now we're curious. If you had only one day in Kuala Lumpur, which dish would you try first? Tell us in the comments. And if you want to see more hidden food spots around the world, make sure you subscribe right now. Because the next food city we're exploring might be even crazier than Kuala Lumpur.